or you can simply contact us on 0977737309,
or you can simply email us at cihss2013@gmail.com.
And now the details. Zambia Railways has recorded a 25% increase in tonnage of mostly copper following the issuance of the statutory instrument on the movement of bulk goods on rail. Zambia Railways Chief Executive Officer Christopher Msonda says the increase in tonnage has also resulted in an increase of 22% revenue for the firm.
Rail transport has for a long time not been a first choice by business houses moving bulk cargo. Trucks have mainly been the major choice by bulk producers. But recently, government realized the need to move these heavy goods from the road to the rail. This is how a statutory instrument was issued to ensure that Zambia Railways increases its share of the transport business.
You remember when we started SI, we started with sensitization of the market to tell people in the market that the instrument number 8 will come, which will allow the 30% movement of goods, heavy goods and bulk moving currently by road to move to rail to the extent of 30%. And those were basically the mining related commodities in addition to sugar and fuels. We've also seen that the market is getting confidence in us. We've identified 8 points where we could put up dry ports. One of them being Kitwe, Chirabombwe, Ndola, Kapiri, Chipata, and Livingstone. Those areas are supposed to be giving us the interface between railway operations and road transporters. We are now experiencing the intermodal as a result of that. Even before the dry ports are put up, we are experiencing movement of copper from Solwezi into Ndola, and then by road, and then we load them on the wagons into Dar es Salaam or Durban. So that's what we are calling intermodal. So far, we have seen almost 2,300 tons of copper, which have moved from Solwezi into Ndola. Then we put them on track, and they've gone ahead to final destination, which is the port. So there in intermodal, as they also respond to SI, we seem to be working. We have seen the movement of anodes from Chingola into Kitwe refinery by KCM. We have seen the movement of starter sheets from Nkana here into Chingola. We've seen a resumption of movement of lime between Ndola Lime and Nchanga. All those movements give us about 6,000 metric tons of those materials added together. So that's what part of the contribution to that 25% we've seen in tonnage.
This has forced the firm to increase on its wagons and locomotives to meet the demand.
Does Zambia Railways got the capacity to respond to that 30%? And we looked at ourselves, we did our self-evaluation. It was clear that by that time we didn't have the capacity in terms of locomotives and wagons to meet the 30% shift of commodity to us. So we embarked on the program, how do we acquire that? We came to agree with South African Railways, Transnet, that they will be able to hire us in the short term, 14 locomotives. We also signed an agreement with Trans-Zambezi, where we also agreed that they will be able to hire us up to 6 locomotives. What has happened so far is that we have received 4 locomotives from Transnet, and the 2 will be received by the end of this month. That makes 6. Those 6 locomotives or those 4 locomotives have done wonders to us. In terms of the impact, we have seen an increase of 20% tonnage since we started the SI, since it became effective February. 25% increase in tonnage, corresponding to about 22% in revenue. And that is associated with SI. So we are saying we've started on a good footing with SI. Under the SMH rail, where we are manufacturing locomotives in the workshop, we have manufactured 10 locomotives. So far, we've produced 2. They are already running. By next week, we shall produce the 3rd one, which will also be released to our operations. Those are now permanent owned by Zambia Railways. We are also discussing with the GE, the General Electric company, who are the supplier of these locomotives. We are also trying to see whether we can come up with a deal, an arrangement where we can start manufacturing locomotives for us, and we pay as locomotives are already delivering goods to to the services of Zambia Railways. So there are a lot of discussion in terms of creating the capacity. Manpower, the people, when we brought those 4 locomotives, it was matched with the training program, particularly the drivers and shunters, so they can be able to drive this new type of locomotive we've received under hire. That training will train 34 people. Next week, we shall start training the balance so that each of the drivers and the locomotive driver we have in the system will be able to drive any of the locomotives, being Zambia Railways or hired one.
Further, government is in the process of hiring 2 companies to rehabilitate the rail line from Mulobezi in Western Province to Chirabombwe on the Copper Belt.
The Zambian government has been negotiating with 2 Chinese companies to rehabilitate the track between Mulobezi and Chirabombwe. It will be done by 2 companies. One from Mulobezi into Kafiwe, the one that starts from Kafiwe into Chirabombwe. There's a team of Chinese, RDA and Zambia Railways engineers who are trawling this line to verify some of the specs which they are negotiating. Today is the last leg to trawl in Tundola. So we are hoping that by next week they will have concluded with some facts related to technical specification of some of the structure they want to do, and then they will proceed quickly to see whether they can finalize the contracts. So on the front of the track, that will also suffice in that direction.
This is in a bid to ensure that Zambia Railways has a smooth track which will help it deliver goods on time. Paul Shalala for ZNBC Newsline in Kitwe.
Now,